Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
We just passed what they call the fall equinox, and we all know that Equinox was a great album by Styx. Ah, Lorelei, as gentle as a butterfly she moves without a sound. That's something these two can never do. You know, be quiet. They're more like Mr. Roboto, catchy, simple, and annoying. This is Dave and Juan.
And 3.
Number 2.
Followed by 1. But of course, everybody, we're back. I'm
Look
talking
at you,
like
man.
I know, I'm just talking like that because I saw a guy in a kilt this week. But hey, before we go off on that, in advance, America, you're welcome. You are so welcome.
You're right.
You are so welcome. We're back. I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. Glad to.
And
glad
I'd
to be
like
back.
to say, just to start off, a friend of mine. Hey, out there. I've been knowing. I was 30 and she was 12.
Man, don't. You gonna jump in there, huh?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I was home yesterday afternoon and the press conference was on. And that's what, in case you didn't catch it, it's now making the news today. Our leader in chief, President Biden, saw somebody at a press conference he was holding, and that's what he said.
We go way back.
I can only stomach about 2 minutes of that. But
we go way back and been through a lot, whatever. And of course,
I was 30. She was 12.
Yeah, I was 30. She was, and I don't even. At some point, and it's funny you do that. That's one dropping one of those things, and you laugh. Juan and I have a tendency, we chat a little before we actually press record. Just, hey, how you doing? Where you come from? We just sort of bounce a couple things off each other to say, like, you want to talk about that? You want to talk about that? Yeah. And then it always starts off, boom. We didn't talk about that. That wasn't any part of the show prep there, but yeah.
It's cringeworthy.
At what point do you say, huh? Like,
yeah, and I'm sure it's totally innocent, but the whole point is.
Oh, no, I'm not sure.
Oh, well, you're not.
I'm not sure at all. I think what happens over time, man, the filters fall. And you go, wow, okay. So maybe something more will come of that. But the interesting thing is nobody follows up. Well, it wasn't like it was
right. It wasn't a question thing.
They don't do press conferences anymore.
No, I can't freelance that.
No, you saw the one, was it 60 Minutes last week? So here's my thing. If you're watching something like 60 Minutes, which is it's garbage, guys. I don't know what it used to be in the day. Let's go back to this. It might be a few weeks since we remind you that everybody's lying.
Yeah.
Not the guys on the screen in front of you.
Yeah.
We may be wrong. We may be misguided sometimes.
Yeah. If they're not lying, they're enabling someone else to lie.
Correct. But we don't knowingly lie. But I can tell you that stuff is a lie. And if that's what they aired, can you imagine what the B-roll is? I mean, seriously, can you?
Yeah, because there's a handler off camera saying, "No, stop that."
No, we can't. Yeah, can we go back and clip to that? So
yeah, imagine being the guy. Your job at the White House is the official take back person.
It's everywhere,
or walk back, whatever they call it.
What was the big one? The big one was, hey, pandemic's over. Said it twice.
Yeah.
Said it twice, bragging about it, walking around the Detroit Auto Show. And, Scott Pelley, who looks about as smart as the lamp on my desk right here. I think it was Scott Pelley.
Yeah, that's who it was.
It's walking around here and we're seeing nobody's wearing masks. So would that mean the pandemic's over? He didn't quite say, you bet it, Jack. I don't know how, he did his thing. Come on, man.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, come on, man.
Come
You
on,
know,
man. You know the pandemic's over.
uh,
He said it twice. And then immediately after 60 Minutes airs,
yeah, like, oh, we missed that one.
what happens?
We
how
didn't think they were going to run that.
How does that work? When these are like honest questions. I think just people, just in general. I say this a lot. I don't care what team you on. I don't care what side you on. There's just some common sense things that you say. Now, hang on a minute. One of the things you would think if there was any actual press is after that bizarro, weird comment about I was 30, she was 12. Okay, huh? You're not gonna go find the person he pointed to. It's obvious he's talking. You're not. I mean, like you would think he'd be like, "Hey, can you shed a little light on one of the creepiest things
you are a neighbor
ever spoken there?" Okay, and then the other thing is, how does it work when the person that's in charge of everything? I mean, literally nuclear codes, like nuclear codes, right? And you say something, and then they immediately come out and say, "No, that's not what that's not so.
Right.
No, our policy has not changed." And I'm like, "Hang on a sec. I thought he gets, isn't that how it works?
It his policy?
Didn't he just call it right there? And oh, by the way, you couillon choose, it's on. You knew it was coming." Like you don't think they saw that video before it aired?
Right. Yeah.
Come on, man. All right. Well, Juan, I'm getting closer and closer to having to run. I mean,
all right, man. When's qualifying in?
I don't know. I think I probably missed it. Well, not for the next one.
Not if you if you want to run for president.
Yeah, we got all kinds.
They typically don't announce till sometime the year before.
It's coming up on election time because you're just starting to see the yard signs are popping up in the neighborhoods, and that's when you get to figure out which one of your neighbors you like and which one of them you're like, man, that guy's. I didn't think that guy was that stupid. Come on,
my HOA restricts political signs. So.
Really, it's a good. I could see that. I wouldn't mind.
Not a bad move.
I wouldn't mind if they did that here. And I have a corner lot. So as you come into the neighborhood, so I've got two, what I'm saying? I got some prime real estate to get some, so I try to be, judicious on, if I use that word right, I don't know. I used the word last week. I thought I used it wrong, but I actually got it right. So why am I ever
was that?
Doubting myself? I don't know. It was on the podcast.
Yeah,
I forget how I use the word. You say it and you say, I don't know if that means what I thought it meant. And I found out, okay, it did. But never told you that story. But one of the times I was in my house and I had a political sign in my front yard. It was a presidential campaign. And so, now looking back, they were both idiots. You know what I'm saying? I'm embarrassed who I voted for just because, I thought there was like one side or another side. I thought there was a choice and they were basically the same guy. They just,
different name.
So I had a sign for my idiot in the yard, and it was a pretty day, so I guess it was in October leading up to the election, and I had the window open, some windows open in the house because it was pretty, but the breeze blew through, one of those rare South Texas nice days, and it just cornered my eye. I heard something first, and it's like, is that footsteps? What am I? And some dude, and probably like a high schooler, ran through my yard and grabbed the sign, stole the sign, right? Me being impulsive. And I'm standing there. I got short pants on, no shoes. Okay. I go run.
You can run fast.
I go running out the front door of my house, yelling some profanities. And this guy, and he wasn't small, jumps in this car, Volvo, right? I remember it was a Volvo, and there were 3 other guys in the car. It was 4 of them. And they book it going down, the street. And I'm running down the street barefoot, yelling like, hey, I again, probably couldn't on this podcast, could not say the things I was saying. And then it dawned on me. What am I going to do if they stop?
Yeah, that's the whole deal.
Because, first of all, just standing, and now I'm far enough away from my house that, my dog.
You're probably winded. Yeah, it wouldn't be at the top of your fight game.
Then you're just playing that game of, hopefully they're thinking, if this dude is insane enough to be running down the street barefoot, he probably has a plan for what he's going to do if we stop. I had no plan. I just realized that after, like, okay, this could be interesting. And the flip side of that is, I don't know what age these guys. Maybe they were high schoolers.
Right. Could have been a prank.
Could have been, but then can you get in trouble? I don't know that I could have. I don't know that I could have beat up 4 high school guys who didn't look small, but
maybe 2. Probably if he'd have knocked out the first 2, the other 2 would have just took off.
It'd have been like Jack Reacher, right? I could have.
Yeah.
I don't think Jack Reacher was out at the time, but I could have used that on him. You know, I don't got to beat up 4 of y'all. I just got to catch one of y'all good. And, but yeah. Anyway, that's so political science. So I've been a little, you know, I don't want to bring.
Poke the fire of the political mess.
Yeah, we'll see. But I'm going to do it because, I mean, we're going to get some signs up this time. But it's an important election year. Not just national stuff, just like local. We've all sort of discovered that lately. Now, it's kind of funny how we would just not pay attention to, because we know that HOAs can make your life miserable.
Oh, God.
Anybody? See, we grew up growing up in South Lafourche.
I didn't know what a HOA was.
No, man, I thought that was a campground. I mean, you know, you got an HOA, you got a whole campground. No, dude, that's a different thing.
The people who tell me what color I can and can't paint my house, and
my gosh,
what time I should cut my grass,
and the power these folks have. So if that's just on an HOA, we just take for granted like judges and stuff. I didn't even know what the job of a county judge was. Apparently, it's pretty. They can mess some stuff up, man. I mean, who paid attention to school boards back in the day? Seriously, nobody paid attention to school boards until people start showing you, like, you know what they're doing, huh?
Right. I think here the school board doesn't pay attention to schools.
Well, around a lot of these places, apparently the school board figured their job is to keep everything closed.
Yeah.
What a gig. We go through that, right? You can tell what people wanted everything closed by the people that kept getting checks, right? If your money's not being affected, I'm
fine. I'd love to stay home and get paid.
All good. But it kind of goes back to the thing, like, you know, the person they tell us is in charge of everything says on TV, national TV, twice that the pandemic is over. And yet, the next day or a few days later, New York fired 800 more people, right? Because they didn't want to, they didn't want to
get the vaccine. It's not a vaccine.
Watch what word you say, man. We're going to end up having,
I'm talking smallpox vaccine, Facebook checkers.
That's right. But there you go. So anyway, politics aside, I'm sure we'll circle back to that. You had a fun night last night. You were.
I did. I went to got my shirt here.
Oh, look at you!
That's right.
I'm just seeing. Oh man.
The KVFG 50-year reunion.
There you go.
Radio station at Nichols, where Dave and I actually met.
Believe it or not, we didn't start the station. I mean,
well, when I started thinking about it, we weren't far behind though, because I said, I mean, we were in college 40 years ago, almost 40 for you. So
yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
So we didn't quite start the station.
We didn't quite start it, but
we were there for we were one of the first chapters.
That's right. The good chapter.
Exactly. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was about to say I didn't get a chance because Juan drove down to Thibodeau to see the premiere, and which he tells me was a lot of fun. I'm 6 hours away. I was sorry.
It wasn't that much fun.
If I could have pulled it off, and my wife was like, I can't believe you didn't figure out a way to go. I was like, that's 12 hours of driving. Don't get me wrong. Hey, look, man, I do that for the birth of a child or the death of a loved one, right? I mean, you just, it's a long ways, but,
we were, you, me and Rick we covered the 80s era.
We were pretty much it, huh?
Yeah, and it was pretty nice. That's what it seemed like anyway, because it was edited, where we went back and forth, much like we do here without the editing.
There you go.
I mean, I think you and some judge guy from the 70s were the only ones who dressed nice.
I could have worn my beer shirt here.
I saw that, man. So, I wore my obligatory black t-shirt.
There you go, man.
Trying to look a little different than I normally do. But it was fun. I went to the radio station which I had only peeked in the window before. And so I was talking to, the guy who coordinated this, had the current manager bring me. And I walked into they were still on air. So I walked into the studio, and the guy kind of looked at it. He said, we got visitors. I just kind of stood there.
No, bro, you don't have visitors. You have the.
That's right. Because let me tell you something, dude. A couple of minutes after that, I was holding court in that lobby. So I had the little manager in there. Then all of a sudden, there's people, other staff members keep filtering in. And I told Joey, my wife, on the way out, I said, they were either interested or they faked the hell out of it. But either way, I'm good. Because I was going to keep it, as long as they were there, I was going to keep telling them about me.
I'm kind of glad I wasn't there, because I don't think there would have been enough oxygen, dude. You realize that? I had
I'm sitting there. They've got the schedule on the wall, and it's like empty slots in it. And I said, "What are those empty slots?" And they said, "That's where we go automated, because we don't have anybody." I said, "Put me up, put me in. I'm coming."
I got, man, look, I know.
Give me 2 minutes on that board. I'll figure it out.
I'm trying to get my son, who is attending. Now, granted, he's a student and he's got a job and everything, but we somehow made it work. I mean, what the heck? I'm trying to think of, what, of course, we didn't have smartphones. So
no.
If you step back and think about how big of a chunk of your day, or a lot of young people's day, is just throwing time away on those, on the phone. So, I keep after him to do it, but hey.
But it was fun. So they created a documentary, for those of you who have no clue what we're talking about, to celebrate the 50th anniversary of this. But the line that they used from you that was hilarious to me, the furniture that's in the station now is stuff that we bought, or was bought when Dave and I were there.
That's right.
Because I told him, I said, I was the first person to have this green desk right here. And you acknowledged that, but complimented the furniture manufacturers on the sturdiness and quality of their products.
I don't know that if I knew what the name of it was, but I mean, look,
near 40 years.
Dang near 40 years later, they got the same furniture. Like
tops are smooth, man. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Like the Partridge Family. It's all different colors. E. Joe Broussard, shout out. I hope he's still alive.
This is the funny thing is, much like life, when everybody, I guess, takes the same credit for themselves over and over and over. It's like, hey, this is my original idea. When everybody before you had that same idea, and we didn't talk about this, but everybody else on it seemed like, we played like an open format. And if you know college radio, you know that's the deal of college radio. You play music that you don't hear anywhere else. So they all acted like that was their niche.
That was their thing.
Yeah, we came up with this.
Going to play you my favorite music. Yeah, guess what? That's whatever. The only reason anybody really wanted to be, half the people in radio wanted to be in there just to play their favorite songs.
Right.
It's like, I want you to hear what I like. I know you did that.
Well, that's what I told some of the guys there. I asked them if most of the people were, communications majors. And they said, yeah. And I said, we had people who just like to play music, and it was and if somebody complimented the song that you played, that's all the money you needed right there.
Man, that was it. I played more Rick Springfield than any time. I promise you the song Love Somebody from the movie of the same name.
That's right. Where you saw Rick's butt.
Heavy rotation at KNSU when I was there. I don't know, that's why I like the song, man. I was a Rick Springfield fan, but of course it was always Bizarro, because I don't know. I guess I was more. It was probably before hair bands. I think hair bands really were like once I got to KBAU, like after
hair bands were probably more
late 80s,
mid to late 80s.
Okay,
yeah,
so but I was
because it was kind of like the new wave stuff. In the early MTV days took off, and it made hard rock kind of go away.
I remember,
and then I think hair metal was the answer to the new.
Okay, because I thought 84, what I remember, the time, that period was, Van Halen, right? I can remember, you just remember the album, Jump and 1984, the album. And I'm trying to think of what else. Bon Jovi, I guess, was
Yeah.
taken off a little bit. And you kind of, but that, because when the guy interviewed me, I was trying to remember some of the stuff we played. I was like, I don't know.
Well, one of the guys, when I was in the station shooting the breeze, he said, "Yeah, I play some 80s music." He said, "Really? What do you like?" "Oh, like Jimi Hendrix and Zeppelin."
That ain't 80s.
I said, barely. I don't even know what that's 70s. Zeppelin could be 70s. Yeah, Hendrix was dead long before the 80s.
That's when you want to. That's when you know you're old, dude. When they can't even get the decade. When you get to a certain age. It was like my son. Then he works at a nice place and he works with some nice people, and I think it's all women that work in the branch besides him. And and I think I forget what his comment was, ladies or something. He said, yeah, no, I work with some older ladies, whatever. And I'm like, to a 22-year-old, that could be 28,
right. That could be
or 60. It's older. When you're 22, everybody's old. Everybody's is just older. You wouldn't understand, but yeah. So me, you, and Rick, huh?
Yep, that's it. It was us. It was fun though. Good time to be back. On campus.
Did Rick say anything particularly stupid or no?
No, I don't think so. I think Rick is the consummate journalist, and
it's true. I forget he's a journalist now.
Right. So
did he mention that he used to be Rufus?
No,
you say that. Rufus, your campus doofus. I bet you we've got clips somewhere. No, I'm serious. We did a morning show together. He was Rufus, the campus doofus, doing an impersonation that you probably couldn't do today. All right, we're going down that.
We're going way,
that bunny hole. But tying it to radio was funny. So where I was this past week, I'm in Point Clear, Alabama, for this
roll tide roll.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, that's the nice old place. I didn't realize at the time it's really old. Like now I think it's been destroyed. Obviously anything that's on the coast has been destroyed once or twice.
Iterations.
But and I didn't walk around because I got there just in time for like a reception, did that, woke up the next day, had to speak, just boom. It's like, it's one of those trips where as I'm driving from the airport to where I'm going, I'm getting the alert to check in from my flight to go home, right? It's within 24 hours. I was going to be turned around. So very tight. But apparently this hotel, somewhere on the grounds, there are like 300 Confederate soldiers.
Oh, wow.
Because it was apparently the grounds or something was a hospital or something, or some kind of medical thing during the Civil War. I mean, good grief. But it was cool. It was but what was funny was it was Louisiana bankers. And I will say this, and it's fun. I love these groups. Like I was in Indiana, I've done Minnesota, I think I'm going to be with Missouri coming up. But Louisiana bankers are just, I mean, it's a different breed, man. People are fun, they're friendly. And it was weird. So I'm standing reception, and I know I have a couple of really good friends there, but they weren't there yet. And I'm just meeting people. I'm meeting people from the bayou. Okay. Literally Golden Meadow. Somebody's wife had on her tag cut off. And I'm like,
was that to honor you?
No, it was where they from.
Oh, she lives in Cutoff now.
Lives in Cutoff now. And I was like, and I just told her, I said, no. And then one of the guys, I don't know if he was a bank president or.
You could have told a story that said, hey, me and her go way back. I was 30. She was 12.
Oh, stop with that, man. You keep pulling us back into the creepy zone there. But so this guy, I forget what his title was, but he's senior enough at this bank that he's at this thing. And he says, Dave, you used to be on the radio? I'm like, yeah. I used to listen to you, man. I like the stuff. I'm just like saying that was a first. That was a first. 40 years or whatever it is. I'm not 40, but close to it. Years later, I'm in this banking thing, and the guy's like, I used to listen to you on the radio. I was like, well, it hasn't changed. Hang on.
There you go. I'll tell you about this. I'll pull over on the side here. I'll tell you about this.
You about to see the live version. All right. Yeah. Little less augas in there, but yeah, but it was good time. Good.
Good. I didn't realize, I saw you had posted, or you sent me a note about that. I didn't realize that it was just somebody you bumped into. I mean, I thought you knew them. from before?
No, that's totally different. I do know them.
Okay.
That was actually the president, and he's like the immediate past chairman, I guess, of the way these organizations work. There's an organization, and then various bankers or bank people are on the board. Then you serve on the board for a while, and then you become the chairman, whatever. And so one of the guys, we all worked at the same bank, so we were all hired by the same person back in the day, not at the same time, and so one of the guys is the guy who recruited me to go to work there, and then the other guy was the guy that I ended up training with when I first got there. So it was just kind of interesting, dynamics. Like all these years later, like, all right, these two morons who are, they're all big executives now. I'm like, all right, you're gonna introduce me. So they took their shots. That was the first thing. The first one said, he said, and I'm not saying names because if you don't know, you don't know. I don't want to right. Because I get other people that say, all these bankers know about the Dave and Juan podcast. I'm like, no, and don't tell them. I don't. I kind of prefer that. Let that one be under the radar. But he said, yeah. So some of you may be wondering why it takes two of us to introduce this guy. Says, trust me, his ego requires.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. When it was all done, I said, I just want to say, I was getting introduced, and I was tearing up back there. I said, I was really getting emotional because it's so nice to see two guys that I've known forever just really experiencing the highlight of their careers and getting to introduce me. I know that was a special moment for them, and I'm a
little surprised there weren't three of y'all there.
It's like, it's like, when you have children and you see them accomplish something and you just feel good about it. But
you're welcome.
You're welcome. But it's all good. The one thing that was kind of funny, and again, I think about these things like, Juan would have some comments about this. So I'll get there, and it's a reception, and it's weird. It's what's the dress going to be? It's either business casual, define that any way you want, or resort something.
Resort wear.
Now that's a big spectrum there, man.
Right. Like slacks and a button down, or shorts and a Hawaiian shirt.
You can do the Ed Ogeron baby Tommy Bahama look, or so I always opt for, I'm gonna do business casual because I'm there, I'm working.
You're there on business.
So you do the obligatory, you get the slacks, t-shirt, white shirt, blue blazer, right? And it's a beautiful resort. Well, nobody told me, and a lot of people there, that the reception was on the back deck. Now, granted,
oh Lord,
I mean, you're looking at the
outside.
You're looking at the bay, and there's sand. You're not on it, but like I'm saying, and it's beautiful. Right. It's scenic.
Beautiful views.
It was a record heat day. No, it was 5 o'clock. The reception starts at 5 o'clock, so it's like 90 something degrees. Yeah. Now, granted, it was a shaded area, but it was outside, bro.
Yeah,
man. You standing there not long, and I can just feel the sweat running down my back, and I'm like, all right, I'll be like Chris Farley out here in a little while, looking at a few other people and doing the same thing. We're like, yeah, we didn't know it was going to be outside. But you could also tell Louisiana bankers, and I made this comment the next day, food was good, granted it's resort stuff they're bringing around. Mm-hmm. But I can't tell you how many times I've been to conferences in the past where you might have 500, 600, 1,000 people, a lot of people at these conferences. And then you have the receptions or the whatever, and, they set up the free bars. Right. That's the only way you can get anybody to go anywhere. Like if you go to conferences, like if it's vendors and the people that pay to be there, and you actually want whoever to go check out the vendor, you got to put the free bar in there.
Yeah. My company does that. We sponsor bars.
There you go. Okay. So I can't tell you how many I've been to that you've got all these people and they might have like 2 bars. Right. And you're just like, oh, in the lines. Yeah, God, yeah, man. You just seem like you pretend you're getting a drink for somebody else because darn well.
Right, double, you get 2.
You might as well you're doing beer. You grab 2 beers because you get out of line and get back in because it's just the line's too long. Not as much. There might have been at the reception coming and going at any given time. There may have been, say, 70, maybe 100 people tops in this area. It kind of rotated. Some people came early, came up, whatever. At 3 bars.
Right.
I mean, I was like, I'm in Louisiana, man. The bar to attendee ratio was nice. Like, wow.
Yeah. They And it's probably a well-stocked bar.
It was extremely, and I'm trying, and it's one of those things you walk up there thinking like, I might have a wine or something when you get there. And I mean, it's so dang hot. And, babe, what you got that's cold?
cold, bro.
What's the coldest beer you got, babe? But
it's like now that college football stadiums are, I don't know if they all can, but the ones that can sell beer in the stadium. It's been a joke the last couple of years when LSU goes on the road for a big game and somebody will post like in the second quarter or something that the stadium's out of beer.
Beer. You guys didn't prep.
Right. There was one place, I forget, it might have been Iowa a couple of years ago, that the local bars on the morning of the game were out of beer. Because of people going pregame in the bars.
They're not ready for it, man.
No.
They're not. It's like, no, you don't understand the locusts that are coming to town.
Yeah.
Look, I get everything with time, right? Because I guess there was a time where I was more, but I'm not wired for it anymore, man.
Oh,
so I think
no.
Drinking early, like that early sometimes, these tailgaters, like right here, like NFL football games.
Yeah.
Dude, that sun's not up.
Dude, we're going to the LSU game tonight, and I'm sitting down saying, what's the latest I could leave? And trying to figure out, okay, I might have 2 drinks, so I got to make sure I eat good before I go.
Right? So who they play today?
I don't know, New Mexico State. I don't know, some little nothing team. Somebody gave us some tickets. I said, yeah, whatever.
Well, yeah, we're talking football earlier. And again, those of you that aren't from Louisiana or could care about the Saints, sorry, but
tough on you. Yeah, it was
tough on the
week.
Saints. But it was, I'm saying that I'm referencing it again, but I did make that. That was one of my first slides. So sometimes I ought to try to do if I know something specific about a group, you want to just crack a joke right from. So what my first slide when I started talking to the group, the Louisiana bankers, is in a screen's blank and it just black and it just says first thing says I just want to apologize to all the New Orleans Saints fans out there, and then the screen kind of blows up and it's a huge picture of Alvin Kamara, and I say I drafted Alvin Kamara on my fantasy football team this year, so y'all just need to know he's going to stay hurt. He's going to stay hurt, and then when he's not hurt, he's going to get suspended. And of course, this is New Orleans, so there's a good chance he could get shot.
Yeah, that's true. So there was a press conference in Baton Rouge this week talking about getting shot. There was really, and I'm not going to go there because it's really tragic and sad, but some random shooting of a young lady. But
yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's horrific.
The police, the police and the mayor came out and announced first thing, we're not going to solve crime, or we're not going to solve this situation by arresting people.
Wait, they said that?
Right. It's a generational problem. So we've got to change people's lives and change people's hearts. And my thing is, okay, but I can get that it'll take a generation to change people's lives and hearts. But what about the people now?
Yeah. And you think the ones that did that are going away? Like
right. And so now we used to have groups. We didn't have gangs, but now we have gangs.
Oh, they call them gangs now.
Still have some groups. Yeah, because at first it was almost like groups, gangs. So like he's putting a slash in there.
Okay.
But so apparently we have 8 gangs in Baton Rouge. And 8? I would have loved
someone. You went from none to 8?
Right. I would have loved someone to say, all right, a couple of months ago, we just had groups. Did these graduate to gangs?
Did they form
we have new gangs?
Is it they form an LLC?
Right. How do we go from just casual groups, neighborhood buddies?
Is it like a pyramid scheme? Like, is it Amway? Did they bring in and say, yeah, and yeah, it's one of those things you hope with such a just horrible thing that people. Does anybody wake up?
Tolerate
does anybody wake up? I mean, same thing with you wonder, like, do they get on phone calls in New Orleans? I mean, do they just like say, you know what? What's the dumbest thing you did this week? Wait.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. I'm going to show you, because that's the other thing. We'll talk about it in a sec. But, New Orleans, did we talk about it last week? Did it come out that, officially right now is the murder capital?
Yeah. I don't know if we mentioned that or not, but,
per capita, it's so what it's lacking in total number, it more than makes up for in effort.
All right.
and effort. Yeah, we're gonna make that sound smooth. Even though my wife always tells me, don't reference the fact that there was a break. Hey, it was a break.
Look, if you didn't reference it, people wouldn't know the effort you go through to make this thing look smooth.
Man, look, sound,
right,
quality.
It's effort. You want acknowledgement of that. It's like my wife. You come home and say, I took out the garbage. It's like, all right. Yeah.
I want you to know.
Right. I made the money to pay for those garbage bags.
That's right. We're talking about.
But we're talking about LaToya. And yes, New Orleans is not a safe city, but not nearly as dangerous as it is for her to fly out of first class.
That is what I understand. I always appreciate when someone can educate me on something that I was, just not aware of. And I did not. Right. I'm on planes all the time. Not realizing that coach is apparently a
much safer.
No.
Yeah, first class is
first class because coach is apparently not a safe place for certain people, and apparently I'm okay.
Bless her heart, her anxiety is so bad.
I guess she lives in New Orleans. Everybody's getting shot. Right. You'd be anxious too if you lived in a
firing range.
A little bit. And New Orleans, hey, we love New Orleans. We grew up in New Orleans. Step it up. Get better. You just got to get better. All right. Right. But
I think we all know where you need to start.
You would think, well, I was 30, she was 12. So oh golly, that's just an unfortunate that we will always be going back to that. But so last night we had went to a I guess it was a party. It was a dinner, kind of relaxed thing at associated with our church and people that work in the church. And it was the priest. We have 3 priests. We have a big parish and just a great time. And it was funny because, and I totally get it. My wife always worried about how I'm going to act. I don't know why. I even joked with like one of the priests there about, she doesn't see me, I guess, when I'm working other places. She only, like when you're home, you say things you would never say.
No.
Right. And you offer opinions about stuff that you would never. Right. And I always kind of tell us that, I do know how there are filters I'll put on.
Yeah. Right. I've done this before.
Yeah. I think she sometimes thinks that when I get up on stage that I'm just going to do this. No, I kind of know what I'm doing, but so I'm getting coached about what I can and can't do and be careful of, because that was the thing. It was really nice. It was, food from all over, but they encourage, you bring beer, wine to share and big group. So I walk in and I'm on my P's and Q's, and thinking like, all right, man, they were having fun when I got there. I'm looking around saying, they must not have got the memo.
And my wife, come over here and correct.
It was all great. So the funny thing was, so one of our priests, awesome guy, he's a young guy, he's the youngest one, and he's very competitive, great guy. He plays basketball. My sons play basketball with him, and he's a pretty good athlete, and he's just very, very competitive. And he had asked me to ask us, we brought a cornhole game board, right? So, I'm having a beer, might have been my second beer. I don't know. Who's counting? And he says, let's go play. I'm like, really, Father? Me and you? We're going to go. So he all said it. He was all excited. And what I was having fun was there was a handful of people out there. And I don't know that people were ready. They were laughing their heads off. I guess people are not used to somebody talking trash to a priest and a priest trash talking back. Because we're going back and forth doing whatever, and they're playing, and I'm kind of winning, and then he came back a little bit, so he was like mid game. He had just taken the lead. He was like giving me some grief, and I was just like, Father, I'm gonna beat you so bad, I'm gonna see you in confession next week. I said I'm gonna have to sit down.
Oh, you got people there. Dave, he's a priest. Chill, man. Let him win.
I said, I'm about, and then a little bit later on, something was happening. I was about done with my beer. I said, all right, Father, I got to turn it up and end this. I'm almost out of beer. I said, I'm not going to, and then somebody, then we ran, get another one, right? Somebody else went. So he sent them off. He says, somebody get Dave a beer. But I won. I had to win. It was close.
It's a thing of principle. You let him hang in there.
Super. And I hadn't played in forever, right? Just super competitive guy. And I was having fun because after that, he was, he was telling me, "Oh, come on, we got to do it 2 out of 3." I said, "That's not how it works, Father. I mean, when countries go to war, when you beat, you beat. They don't come back and say, 'You want to try that again?' Sorry, no."
We have a cornhole tournament coming up at work.
Cornhole tournament.
Yeah, but it's teams. And somebody asked me why I didn't sign up, and I said, I don't know. Maybe it's I'm older, and it's just really uncomfortable for me to go up to somebody and ask if they want to play cornhole.
It's an unfortunate name.
Right.
It really
right.
is.
It just sounds really, I don't know. So
I think sure they may call it different things in other parts of the
dude on ESPN it's called cornhole.
It's cornhole. I keep thinking of like Beavis and Butthead, Cornholio.
Hey, my tippy.
It's a funny name.
I am Cornholio. Give me tippy.
Whatever. I don't know what it was. But yeah, it was fun. I couldn't doubles. I was trying to explain that to my wife the other day where it was something about tennis. We're watching tennis or something going on, and why I never enjoyed playing doubles tennis. I don't enjoy playing doubles anything because what happens is I'm either always I'm annoyed at something. I'm either annoyed that somebody else is not, man, you suck. What are you doing? Or
if you got doubles, that doubles the chance of you having something to be annoyed about.
Or you letting the other person down. So I was always like, either I'm not playing well enough and I feel like I'm letting my partner down, or my partner's dead weight and I want to just say, please stand over there. Right. So I was never a big, it's one of those, but yeah. So team cornhole and yeah.
And it's like a multi-day tournament. You got brackets and stuff. Like, man, how much time do I need to invest in this?
And I may have to step back and rethink my take on pickleball.
Oh, you played?
No, I'm not playing that. It's embarrassing. But so Lifetime Fitness, the gym that I go to here, we have 2 basketball courts, big, and always had people playing on them, right? Man, I don't know who took the vote or what they did. They converted one of the basketball courts into 3 pickleball courts. And I mean, like legit, they resurfaced everything. It's so instead of it's a basketball court, and now there are 3, if you can imagine, they go like across the court, like,
right? And it's indoor courts, nice permanent nets and everything set up. Dude, the pickleball being played out there is insane. It's weird though. It's entirely changed the dynamic of that time of day when I go over there. Like I used to go to the gym at a certain time when I'm not traveling. I try to do it, like get some stuff done in the morning, and I try to go around lunchtime, give or take. Right, with not a lot of people there, probably
midday. Try to gauge it that way again when I can. And it used to be when I got up there, the gym looked more like a young guy's gym. I mean, a lot of ballers, a lot of people playing basketball, whatever. Dude, now it's like I'm on a cruise. It's like
got their loungewear on.
Oh man, yeah. But
next they'll have a shuffleboard court.
Apparently pickleball is so I stand corrected, man. There's build it and they will come, dude. They're doing it.
You should go and take them. Said, bro, I beat a priest in
not gonna do
cornhole and clean up the court with you.
A young priest. I didn't beat some old guy. A young competitive. But I was just having more fun performing for the few people that were watching because, like I said, they couldn't, you're not supposed to trash talk a priest, but he was trash talking back.
Right.
Come on.
You started, I'm gonna finish it.
No, he made a couple shots, and I'm just like, oh, that's not even fair, man. You just have a straighter shot with God. That's what.
Right. That's the Holy Spirit. Drop that. Come on, not fair.
God dropped that one in there for you. Come on,
right?
Man.
You should have a disadvantage.
I was messing with him. If I gave you that shot 100 more times, you couldn't make it. You couldn't, right? You could. You could say 4 roses and try that again. You couldn't do it. Oh, that's the other thing too. And you don't.
Hey, anybody, just so you know, I go to church all the time. So
you say. I see I got a bunch of clips. I don't know.
Bro, check out that new video from my church online that I posted yesterday. The banging song, bro.
Oh, where we start off talking about radio back when we were cool. Now you're plugging church videos, bro. There you go.
Yeah. Dude, that's a cool video. Go watch it.
I should watch it. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, watch it for real. Watch the whole thing.
Okay. You want me to comment on it, man? Okay.
You can comment. Did Juan do any of the camera work on here? Because it's amazing.
Compliment, huh? Man.
Yeah.
Did y'all hire somebody to do this? It's that good. It really is. It is that
good.
All right. Cross promotion, right?
Yep.
But yeah, it was fun. So fun times. So I had to get the pickleball stuff out there. I think I posted it. I know I sent you some stuff. So the Mobile airport, I don't remember ever being in the Mobile airport much because we drove.
They had an airport.
Yeah, well, it's the Mobile Regional Airport. And it's not tiny, but it's about what you'd expect, right? It's not a big place. And I go through security and it's middle of the afternoon. So I'm like, well, I got a stretch waiting here, and you're kind of hoping the planes, because there ain't a lot of options. If your flight gets canceled in Mobile, bro, you stay in Mobile. I mean, ain't a hope for nothing. I was thinking, I hope there's at least one like little restaurant, bar or something, kill time. And that's when I seen the picture. I walk, and it's one of these great situations. I think one little area, and it's a bar. I got a full bar, and if you want something to eat, it was Elizabeth on duty. She had her name on the sign. She's making the burgers right there. They got an open grill. Like you can watch her make the burgers, and it's just funny. And the sign that got me, the sign of like right where you're standing there, like now serving ice cold Jägermeister and Fireballs.
Yeah, for those of you who are a little flight anxiety.
Oh man, that's what I said. Mobile Airport's all about making healthy choices and good life decisions.
Dude, yeah.
How'd your trip go? It wasn't going great. And then I ran into Elizabeth and the ice cold
Jaeger shots, had a little mini hurricane glasses. It was great. And
then not long after that, it's I had time to kill. And that's actually kind of fun. I don't know. I shouldn't enjoy it as much as I do. I'll put on music, I'll just have my small little soundtrack going in my head, do a little work, get off the table to the side, just people watch. Sometimes I'll just, do some actual work on the computer, but depending on the day, maybe get a beer, just watch the movie. I like doing that. I just like, the life is a movie. If you just put enough music in your ear that you don't have to hear the nonsense and just watch stuff, it's like
just the soundtrack.
And then I get this dude that's, again, I know I posted that you ever see somebody out in public and realize they're having more fun than you? Dude wearing a kilt.
Dude, was that a kilt or just, I couldn't tell if it was like a real kilt.
I think it was. I got to go back and look at the picture, but I'm pretty sure it was.
If I commented this, I'd really think it would be like the most comfortable thing in the world.
It looks
if I could pull it off from a dignity standpoint.
It looked, yeah, it's not my heritage, but a buddy of mine sent me a picture of him in one. But I think I'd seen that before because I guess he does that.
There's some guy that goes to my church, the church that has a really kicking new song. That like on the holidays he'll wear.
What's the name of that song? I was 30, she was 12. Come on,
man. He'll have like the full garb, like the kilt, but then some kind of looks like a fanny pack thing, which I know it's not a fanny pack, and the knee socks.
Oh man!
And I'm sitting there saying, "Well, no, dude. Why would I want to wear the kilt if I had to wear the knee socks?
Exactly.
That blows the whole comfort aspect of it."
Well, he might not be wearing underwear. Who knows? But and that little fanny pack thing was probably where the kilt wearers kept weapons. I don't know what you kept in there. Rocks.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
But here's what I noticed about this too, because everything I always reflect back to like during time and I remember that I made a joke about this, I made a joke about that. You never see, or seldom, I have never seen anybody, and I've seen it 3 times, men wearing kilts that didn't look like they could take care of business if you made fun of them wearing kilts. You don't tend to see any little you don't see a lot of wimpy guys. I'm sure they have those in the culture, but they don't put on the kilts. Because I was at an event, speaking at an event, it was a holiday event several years ago, pretty big deal. And some of these groups do this. And so it's all the employees, it's like it's the holiday party. And so it's and spouses. So it's whatever this, and I remember they had this one guy, young guy, beard, dude, he looked like a rugby player. That dude he looked tough. And when he got up to go to wherever, I know he's wearing a kilt, maybe it was his holiday kilt. but it was a kilt. And so when I got up to speak, I had to say it. So I got to be honest. I was going to make a comment about the gentleman over there and what he was wearing, but you haven't. I said exactly. You ever notice how the guys that can pull that off?
Yeah.
You wouldn't. You ain't making.
Yeah, you just sit back and applaud.
I just told him, I said, I just want you to know, young man, that if trouble breaks out, I'm on Team Kilt. Me and you, bro. I'm getting behind the guy.
I'm behind the dude in the skirt.
Yeah. Me and you, buddy. Looks good on you. But so my rental car, Hertz, gives me, because it wasn't one of these, because it's a small airport. A lot of times you show up and you can have a choice of cars. Like here's a choice. Yeah. Small airport, they say, no, here's your slot, here's your car. They gave me a black Charger, Dodge Charger, I guess it was.
Dude, now, a couple of street racing that boy at night.
Okay, so that's the other thing. So Hertz apparently wants me to get speeding tickets because it's one of those cars, but it's just solid black and it'd been sitting in like record heat.
Yeah, record heat inside.
Woo. But as I'm driving, and I'm through the tunnel, I guess I'm through the tunnel, and I'm on the, and I'm over water or next to
on the Bay Bridge.
Okay, and I'm holding the phone. I'm doing something with the phone, and I drop my phone. And what is it about some vehicles that are just designed for that Bermuda Triangle?
Like with the door open?
It lands between the seat and the console, and then just is able to just wide enough that a smartphone can fall down into there.
Right. And you can't get your hand down there.
Not big enough for you to get your hand down there. And then I'm driving and I know I got some turns coming up and I can't. So I got to turn the radio on down and listen. So I'm getting
put your head down to the seat.
Basically Google Maps talking up through my butt to tell me, hey. And then at the turn on the exit. Yeah. And then waited once I finally hit a Burger King, get out, open the back door,
crawling on the floor,
hoping I don't need a freaking tool to remove something to get my phone. But come on, car designers, do better.
Last week we talked about an unusual animal that you came across going down the road. Yesterday I was working on one of these side projects that I do in a neighborhood near here, and I'm driving, or I'm leaving, and I see walking down the street a beautiful peacock.
There you go.
Now, I've got no idea if peacocks are common around here.
Well, for those of you that are not watching the video, Juan is actually talking about an actual peacock and not the kind you might see in New Orleans. There are some there's some peacocking that goes on in New Orleans that, it's different. This is a legitimate bird, a peacock. Just hanging out.
Yeah, just walking down the street.
I used to know people, I think, that have had them as pets.
I looked it up. They're apparently not in, at least the site that I found. I don't think they're very expensive. Now, I don't know how far they would roam.
They can fly. I've seen them fly. Mm-hmm. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're actually pretty good guard animals. They make a lot of noise, and I want to say people used to have them sometimes in their chicken yards because peacocks were more aggressive than
a chicken. All right.
And they could like to fend off. I don't know if they fend off a fox or whatever, but I don't know. I'm gonna do a little deep dive on the on peacocks. Well, I have no idea.
I might get one.
The other thing I didn't want, we started talking earlier a little bit about football and everything, but I did want to say one of the good things about the Saints game last week. It was nice to see Jameis reconnecting with old teammates in a way.
He totally forgot about his new teammates.
Oh my gosh, man. It's like, that's when you want to go like during you wanted the changeovers, like, Jameis, those on the jerseys.
You used to throw to those, bro. Not now.
You used to throw to those, not well, but how come you were better at throwing to the Saints when you were playing for them than bro, we got to work on that. Yeah, well, I know it's one of those.
My dad was here to watch the game, so I want to keep the screaming and the disgust to a minimum, in front of him. But
Sorry, we're not going too far down the sports, but who do the Saints play this week?
Panthers. So that game will be over by the time this podcast airs. But
okay, what a game!
So yeah, what a game!
What a
Great
game it was.
comeback. Great.
Can't believe Kamara came back and scored 5 touchdowns.
Yep.
I'm just trying to speak. I'm trying to speak that into truth, Juan. I'm trying to. I'm gonna, he's on my fantasy team, so he's
all right.
Probably going to get suspended or shot.
It's safer because they're in Carolina, so probably the
okay.
The chance of him getting shot is dropping significantly.
Okay, all good. All right, man.
Good.
Let's see. Did we provide America with enough information to work with for the next week? I mean, we gave you radio, an extensive conversation on cornhole. I think.
Probably the most in-depth conversation on cornhole, and with a side off on that is cornhole against the priest.
Yeah, I kind of.
This is probably the only conversation you can find anywhere in America this week about cornhole with the priest.
And drinking a beer.
Yeah,
I may have. Yeah, when I was trying to push. I ain't gonna say what I did. One thing I thought was real funny, but I'm not gonna share it because. My wife.
I saw you rethinking that.
Yeah, it's a funny line I got off that I would not not put out there. I did that the other day. Yeah, do you ever do this where you pause and think, I'll bet you in the entire world, I'm the only person doing this right now. Right. And it might be sometimes it's a little more specific. I was in going to the gym, like I said, that has now become like a cruise ship with the pickleball players. And after working out, I was in the sauna, right? And I finally got realized there's a thermometer up on the wall. I never really pay attention to it. It's kind of high. They keep the sauna at what the temperature in the sauna is. It's a little higher than I thought it was. It's 145.
Oh wow,
145, right? And but then right there next to
it's a dry heat.
Yeah, it's a dry heat. But then it's at 150 to whatever, it's red. So it's basically telling you that above 150 is, I guess, danger. And I'm thinking,
you don't want to get that close to danger.
Yeah, hey, what's happening at 150 that didn't happen at 145? But I guess, hey, it's one of those things. I mean, water boils at a certain temperature, it freezes at a certain temperature. But there you go, 145. But I was I'm sitting there in the sauna. I got my headsets on, and I was listening to what was the song? It might have been what was the song? Electric Blue. Do. It was I
remember that.
Yeah, guy had awesome hair.
Who was it?
Man, as much as I listened to that song, Juan, I shouldn't.
It wasn't the Lou Graham? No. Huh?
No. Good guess though. Very good guess. It does sound like it was typical one-hit wonder. Hang on a sec here. And I'm doing this because I know nobody listening to this podcast or watching the podcast is saying, "Oh, I know that song." Well, you know it if you saw it, but Electric. No, it wasn't Play Electric Avenue. No, not Electric Avenue.
Oh, I hate that song.
I hate Electric Avenue.
Rock Down too.
There we go. Recognize that?
Oh yeah, I know the song.
This is the extended Dan's version. This is the one that I would come on and do the weather. Hey, Bayou 94 FM.
We got a potential storm coming.
That's right. Hurricanes ruining the Gulf.
Go in a couple different ways.
That's right.
It's going to turn, bro. They always turn.
It's going to turn. We got Juan coming up with news pretty soon. If it gets here. He doesn't have to do KLEB first, but yeah. Weather forecast today, bro, it's going to be hot. You're going to sweat. Extra shot of deodorant. This is Ice House.
Ice House.
Ice House on Bayou 94.
Ice House was more of a new wave band.
Yeah.
I think.
Ice House, bro. Ice House. Hope we don't get flagged on that. I don't know what country they're from. Facebook will probably slap some kind of, we don't have the rights to that music.
Yeah. Some European country.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like those songs. That was the extended version with the long intro. I always like a long.
Nice.
DJs like the long intro.
Yeah, you talk over it.
That's right. Makes everybody else crazy, but you'd feel like you got skills. Watch Watch me nail this post.
All right, Ken, you nail it, man.
Speaking of nailing it, man, before we have to splice this thing again, let's push the button. Get on out of here. America, there you go. It's there. The buffet has been laid before you. Stop. Go back.
What else can
Pause.
you do? What else can you do? I tell you what you can do. Go and have the best day ever.
Hey, sort of like that. It's not a hint. It's not a suggestion. We're not subtly, putting it out there, bro. It's a freaking mandate to get out there and have the best day, of your day, of your life,
best day, best week,
whatever. Because we didn't talk about how to
month.
Contact us, but you guys know how to do that by now. We're probably not even.
Yeah, we're there.
Dave and Juan, protonmail.com, or hit us on Facebook or
everywhere, social media. You can find
Juan has volunteered that if there is trouble in the Gulf, he has access to a warehouse.
I have access. I volunteered to make you jealous because
that's right. We'll put Juan's personal phone number and on the podcast.
I won't be thirsty or hungry.
Jeez.
I feel bad for you though.
As you should. And you can find us on anywhere to find the podcast. Although I'm realizing this after, so many of these, I think this is the 82nd edition, that if somebody's listening to us on a podcast right now, we don't have to tell them where to find us.
Right. You know it.
Why would you
or
try
if you're watching us on YouTube?
Why would you not, by the way? Why would you not? It's like, hey, look, if you're going to have cake, have frosting.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to tell you somebody who watched it on YouTube who recognized me last night. Your friend Andy came up to me at the thing last night. So shout out to Andy. Thanks for
Professor Andy.
Wow, you got a friend that's a professor.
Yeah, dude. Well, technically, Dave.
Yeah, we got another one too.
I'm bored, dude. I'm borderline.
Professor.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Graduate School of Banking here, bro.
Yeah, well,
I hang out in faculty lounges with academics, explaining stuff to them.
Let me explain this to you, bro.
Let me explain this. You think we might be going into a recession? In your world, do you buy gas? Do you think the petroleum products are important? Then hey,
just a little.
Guess what? When that goes up, it all goes
it
up.
all goes up.
And you can only explain this talking like this, bro. Some mix between a Hispanic Cajun.
Juan Semino. What else can you have, man?
Exactly. You got the name for it, man. Oh, well, like a bunch of Cajuns. We said we're leaving.
We did, and we stayed. We're in the driveway.
We said we're leaving. So we out of here. But you know what else I thought about that? No, so we're actually going to get on out here. So everybody, for true, get out there. Have a fantastic day. Make it the best week of your life. We're going to see you next week sometime. We're always here.
Right. We're always here.
Randomly go grab one. Go grab number 37. Podcast number 37.
Boy,
it's
as
good today.
That was a good one.
As good today as it was the day we dropped it. Maybe a low bar, but there you go. But anyway, you guys enjoy yourself. Have a great one. See you next week, buddy. Love you. Bye.
Back at you. This dude who I didn't know, it was like it was at my cousin's camp. And so he was out there. He works with my cousin. And early on, the dude said, I turned 60 and I got something. And the dude pulls like a joint out of his pocket and throws it on the table. I'm like, really? And then later, I'm watching the LSU game in the house and he's in the camp and he's outside banging on the window. Come on. And he's like smoking it and stuff. And I'm saying, bro, I didn't smoke dope with guys a whole lot cooler than you when I was young.
That's right.
You think I'm coming out there with you?
Mama Semino taught me right. I ain't going.
I'm all right, man. I'm a grown man.
Hey, you know what? All these years later, the advice your mom and dad gave you is so true. Stay away from them heads.
Yeah.
Them pot heads. Stay away from them pot heads.